Well, it's time to re-up. Nathan? Nathan, where's Nathan? Where's Nathan when you need him? Hey, Nathan. Hello, I'd like to talk to Nathan.
Nathan!
What's up, cool kids?
Yeah, we out here teaching, showing God's love to everyone that we're reaching. Don't forget we'll be here for the Wednesday Live. Come on out, we know how to have a good time.
New video, new location. You never know what to expect with Antioch Youth Ministry. We're doing our own thing. Check it out, I'm at the church. I can't believe it. I haven't left my house in 6 months. Just kidding, that's a lie. Well, it's time to re-up. We're about a year in and it's time to recommit to the incredible things that God is doing through the Nathan Initiative. It's time to sign me up again for what God's doing in our spheres, our city, and in the nations of the earth through generosity and discipleship. We're gonna talk about how discipleship requires generosity. We're gonna talk about being a Nathan people. It's our identity and how our actions come out of that. Because generosity is a part of God's character. And He is so generous that He gave His one and only Son for us. Hold on. Wait a minute. What does Nathan mean again? I thought Nathan was a name. I know a Nathan. He's a jerk. Nathan? Nathan is a Hebrew word that means to give or given. So when we talk about the Nathan Initiative, it's all about giving, generosity, being given to God and given for others. That's who we are. I've got 2 simple points for us in this video, and this really flows into the first one, is that we are a Nathan people. This is our identity. It's not just something that we do, it's who we are. Next week, we're gonna talk about action, how we live this out, how we really obey this word. But before we talk about action, we have to start with identity. Did you know that our actions do not create our identity? It's actually our identity that create our actions. We are a Nathan people because it's who God is. God created us. He gave and therefore we are to give. He gave and therefore we are given. So let's break down that phrase, given to God and given for others. Well, given to God simply means that we're surrendered to Him. It means that we've given everything for Him. It means that we're giving Him our life, our love, our affections, our attention, our abilities and skills. Romans 12 verse 1 says that we are like living sacrifices for God. Have we put ourselves on the altar and given God everything? That's what it means to be given to God. Have we given Him our hopes and our dreams? Or are we still dictating what those are? Being given for others means that we lay down our life for each other. Our generosity flows to each other because that's what we see in the person of Jesus. He was so generous with others that He actually gave His own life. That is the definition of love, that He gave His life for His friends. Being given for others means that we don't insist on our own way and preferences. It's about letting selfishness go and letting selflessness come in. Now here's the thing, all of us are selfish. It's our natural way of being, right? Me first, I want things to be the way that I like them. So this Nathan identity, it's really, really important that we see it as something that God has given us, our identity that we can lean back on. If we try and get our identity from our actions, then we're gonna fail all the time because we're selfish. But we are a Nathan people regardless of how we feel, regardless of the ways that we've messed up in the past. Remember how last year when we started the Nathan Initiative, we gave out these stickers that said, "Hello, my name is Nathan." Well, it was a funny sticker, but also there was a point there that we should see that as our identity. I am Nathan. I am a Nathan people. It's our identity because we're rejecting the selfishness that we see in ourselves all the time and say, no, actually, I'm gonna walk in generosity because it's who I am. And our second point is that God's grace is our fuel. You know, a motor will not run without fuel. Your car will not run without fuel. And in the same way, without God's grace, we'll slip back into selfishness. God's grace simply means unmerited favor, something that we didn't deserve. God's goodness towards us when we did not deserve it. And this is what transforms our identity. God's grace is what transforms who we are to create in us a Nathan people. God's grace covers you and it changes you. It changes who you are, your identity. Ephesians 2 verse 8 and 9, we were saved by grace through faith. So grace is the way that we were saved. Therefore, grace is the way that God sustains us. It's all in His grace. None of it is in our own strength. Do we make decisions? Yes. Do we choose generosity? Yes. but by the grace of God. It's by the grace of God that we're not walking in selfishness at all times. So if we want to be this Nathan people, don't try and do it in your own strength. Do it in the strength of God. Do it in the grace of God. Call on God. Say, God, I need your grace. I need your grace to choose generosity, to get over my selfishness. And the thing is that God's grace is what fills us up and then overflows in generosity. All right, as I close this message, I really want us to reflect and think about what I've said today. As we recommit to the Nathan initiative, we need to stop. We need to pause. We need to reflect on, am I a Nathan person? Am I part of this Nathan people? Am I shaped by God's grace and his generosity? Maybe ask God, am I living in this identity of generosity? Reflect on this. Do you know all that God has really given you? How can we continue to participate in this given life? Think about that this week. Be shaped by that this week. And the great thing is that we're doing this journey together. We are a Nathan people together. We're building generosity into our lives together. And we're pursuing Jesus and pursuing this call together. You do not have to be alone in this Nathan journey. You weren't made to do it alone. You were made to do it together in community for the glory of God. We are Nathan people, given to God and given for others. Be blessed today, and we'll see you tonight right here on our YouTube channel for our Wednesday live show. Peace.